We're back again. Latest updates about the dispatch situation. What up? It's your boy Geronimo. We're back in it. So, as I said in my previous video, I have a feeling that there's gonna be a new development about this. If there's anything like that, I'll definitely make a new video and let y'all know what's up. I'm here to talk about the latest updates and developments. So, dispatch, Switch, and Switch 2 censorship. Nintendo has made a response, and let's go overhead to the article. Shout out to Go Nintendo for the article, and supposedly doesn't explain much. Overall, Nintendo just said this: Nintendo requires all games on its platforms to receive ratings from independent organizations and to meet our established content and platform guidelines. While we inform partners when their titles don't meet our guidelines, Nintendo does not make changes to partner content. We also do not discuss specific content or the criteria used in making these determinations. So what do we think this actually means? My take on it is Nintendo is acknowledging the fact that this was submitted to an independent organization, which all video games have to be done. In this case, since Nintendo is in Japan, they're based off Kyoto, Japan. Their games are rated by CERO, or CERO, which I believe stands for Computer Entertainment Rating Organization. And they have about 5 levels for it that ranges from A, B, C, D, and then Z. Think of, for all of us here in the Americas, think of CERO Z as the adult only rating, which is very rare. We see that, and even if that's the case, most retail storefronts probably won't even offer it there. It should only be provided at a separate place. This game that we saw on the eShop here in North America received an ESRB rating of M for mature, which I mentioned in the previous video. So it is to be determined that this got a rating of CERO D, which is their equivalent. Basically saying that not allowing anything that's showing sexual content, nudity, those type of things right there. So I believe that's how it got to its rating when reviewed in Japan as a whole. And perhaps what the whole thing is with this version of the game that released on Nintendo platforms, I think AdHoc Studio may have decided to just go with the single submitted rating of CERO D for the release everywhere on the platform, which is admittedly a bit odd to think about, but I could see the reason why they could go for that. AdHoc Studio, while we know has been made up of some people of Telltale games, of fame of The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us, they also have a bunch of newer staff, some association and collaboration with Critical Role. They do the tabletop series online. They're still very much a smaller independent team, so they may not even have the funds to submit multiple versions of a game. Based on what I'm kind of seeing here as well, and the fact that this did launch on PS5 in Japan, to me it seems like they might not have been able to either afford, or they just decided to not attempt to do 2 different ratings or 2 different submissions for the game. One that would fall under that CERO D rating, which would need to be censored, or another one that's just, uncensored. I think they'd have to do that route to get it, at least for Nintendo platforms. It is a bit odd though, because we don't really see that for PlayStation 5 outside of Japan. We have one version, it's rated M, and everyone's able to play it. And AdHoc themselves does have the toggle for censorship related things, for like nudity and sexual content, things of that nature. So that leads me to think that I don't really think it's more so Nintendo's fault or 100% AdHoc Studio's fault. I think it's a place that meets in the middle overall. I think the best way to go about it they'd have to either submit another version and have that one also be a version that they release on the eShop for Switch and Switch 2, and have that with the restored censorship toggle. Sometime after this Nintendo response yesterday, it looks like one of the actual developers or part of the team at AdHoc Studio also did their kind of statement via their Discord. So let's go ahead and go through it here, and we'll kind of stop wherever there's anything that's really interesting to me. So we'll just start the 3rd paragraph. As Nintendo states, any game that's going to be on the Nintendo platform needs to meet Nintendo's established content and platform guidelines. This is the key point. Nintendo has content guidelines. Our game didn't meet those guidelines, so it made changes that would allow us to release on their platform. That's what happened here. Honestly, we thought this would be obvious since we're the devs that released the fully uncensored version of the game on other platforms. I mean, yeah. Can't argue with that at all. We initially assumed, like some of you, that because games like Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk are on the platform with similar types of uncensored mature content, Dispatch would be allowed to do the same. During the porting process, it became clear that was not the case. So we asked that we include a disclaimer on the store page to inform customers that content will be different than on other platforms. We worked with Nintendo to get storefront language approved. Now, this is interesting because, actually, I think since my last video, when the game launched on this past Thursday, January 29th, or was it the 28th? I'm sorry. This past Wednesday. Oof, the week just going by. What a month. But when looking on the eShop, even pre-ordering or just buying it, there wasn't a blurb on there that mentioned that there was, anything that could indicate that content was altered. That was kind of like one of my main issues with the whole situation to begin with. I think if they had that on there from the jump, I think at least we would have gone through the phase of, it's censored, but at least they told us, so we're not going to get it. But although I think they were just afraid of just not getting many sales from both Switch and Switch 2 users. So, it is what it is at that point. Where we absolutely need to take full ownership is the placement of that disclaimer. Again, it was our intent to go out of our way to tell people looking to buy the game that the content was censored. While we didn't have complete control of the language, we did have control of the placement. Wires got crossed and we put the disclaimer in the field literally titled disclaimer instead of the about the game section. We didn't catch this until after the launch when we saw people saying we should have called out the changes on the store page, and we went to go make sure it was there. It technically has been the entire time, just in the absolute worst spot that makes it look like we were trying to hide it. Okay, I mean, I'll give it up. Perhaps it was in another place and even I didn't acknowledge it, so I'll chalk it up to that as well. Though having it a bit more visible always helps. I think that's reasonable enough to admit. This is 100% our mistake, and it was fixed in the Americas store pages a few hours after launch to give more visibility. I didn't actually check this myself, so it is what it is. I think I was busy on the phone talking to Nintendo of America support to get a refund. We've also added a disclaimer before purchase. As of writing this, the other regions have either published the change or are in the process of review. So what now? We're already working with Nintendo on a path forward. We're going to come back to that statement actually. While we can't make any specific promises just yet, we're confident we'll be able to push an update to address at least some of the censored content. I'll get ahead of it now and say that between dev time and the console submission process, we're talking weeks, not days. To our fans who are looking forward to playing the uncensored version on Switch, we're truly sorry. People have a right to be pissed. Lots of lessons learned here. Thanks for sticking with us. More soon. Okay, so they've acknowledged that there was a bit of an error with the visibility, communicating that this version would be censored in some fashion. Or at least it would be in a way where we can't censor or uncensor sections of the game like the other releases on PlayStation 5 and Steam. So that's good. I'll give it up for them. Always love to see accountability, right? And it's not like these people have done anything really truly terrible. I think it just made like a misstep. And they seem to have kind of come across here in a good light, so they're not trying to double down with it or trying to double blame on Nintendo again or anything like that. So it's definitely a two-way street in regards to this situation. Though I do like the statement though. We're already working with Nintendo on a path forward. That's good. So what does a path forward mean? Going back to what I said originally, it could potentially mean that they could submit another version of the game that they could call it the uncensored edition or something. I don't know. The dispatch fully loaded. I don't know, whatever little verbiage you want to call for it. There's publishers and developers that re-release their games on the eShop even since the Switch 1 for various reasons. So this wouldn't even be too crazy for to do. I'm not aware of the pricing or what all goes into that process. I mean, I imagine since they said it would take weeks and not days, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to go this route. So I think we just need to take a wait and see on that. The other thing they could be doing is just patching the current version of the game, potentially making it to where that toggle does come back. Now, I think if they do that, it may need another recertification from CERO in Japan itself. So yeah, it's a bit odd, but hey, that's what we're going for. So overall, there may be a happy ending from this. We're just not going to get it in the next week or so. I'd say take a step back, wait and see if you truly care about this and having the full version on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. Be more level-headed about it. Don't go on social media, be all angry. Don't go on YouTube channels and comment and rage and everything. Don't watch certain content creators that just rage bait players and provide disingenuous content. But overall, I think this is an interesting thing to kind of look over, and I'm glad I made this second video. If there's going to be anything else that pops up from this, I'll definitely let you all know. I'm still going to make another, well, I'm still going to make my own backlog hunter or review-ish type video for Dispatch. After a second playthrough, I guess it will just be on PC again. It is what it is there. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe for more gaming content from your boy. It's been Geronimo. We're out. Peace.